and solve the great challenges of our time. We do it by embracing freedom and liberty. There may be no such thing as a free lunch, but this hour is as close as it gets. Welcome to A Free Solution.
Hey, welcome everybody to A Free Solution. Larry Sharp here, host of the Sharp Way Show in the evenings at 7 p.m. And if you want to follow me on that, you can. Please check me out at 7 p.m. The Sharp Way. Follow me on Facebook. Now, I'm on the coolest show there is in the afternoon. There isn't one cooler. It's called The Free Solution. Here on WYSL, Rochester, New York, WENY, Elmira, according to Patriot, WACK in Newark, New York. As I say, New Jersey people, I'm sorry. Newark, New York, that's the cool Newark. Sorry, guys, it just is. Give me a call if you think I'm wrong, 585-346-3000. I want to bring up what I think in New York State, at least, is some big news or bigger news. And that is New York State, the liberal bastion that it is finally deciding we might want to legalize cannabis, recreational. Oh my God. It looks like it might happen. Now, so they've been saying this for years, but now it might actually happen for a very important reason. We're broke. That's not the best reason, but I think I would take it. Now, the problem, of course, I know you're going to say this. You're thinking, well, Larry, yeah, we should have done a long time ago. And I hope they're going to follow your idea, Larry, which was regulate it like onions, which means not much at all. No, this is New York State. If we can't make it to where the big heavy hitters win, we're not going to do that. We are the establishment state of establishment states. They don't call us the Empire State for nothing, right? It's because we are all about empire. They did an interview, a local Buffalo station, I think, and they were looking at people who were excited about this, and they were, of course, many politicians who were like, "Oh, yay! I'm going to be able to, say I did something so I get reelected." So nice. But there was also a guy they brought up from a company who was an equity partner. I don't want to say the name of the company because he might get mad. I might get sued or something. But anyway, I'll just use it is a something partners. And almost always when you see something partners, that's basically a private equity company. A bunch of people put a bunch of money in and they go buy stuff. This company is a real estate company. They do things like luxury condos and such in California. And they were super excited about New York State legalizing cannabis. Now, why would someone who is a heavy hitter putting in 6, 7, 8 figures into an equity company, partners, into one of those companies who does luxury condos in California, why in the world would they care about cannabis in New York State? You know why. Because they know that this system, whatever it is, will be set up for people like them to make a killing. You know that. That's how this is going to work. Our system will ensure that if you have John's farm, like someone's farm in your name, you have no chance of success. If you got Larry's shop, no success. If you got so-and-so partners, so-and-so equity group, you are going to make a killing. That's how we work. And I say, Larry, how do you know that? Because already, they're saying it'll take 18 months to 2 years before we have the regulatory issue settled. Now, there's several reasons why that bothers me. Number one, haven't you been talking about this for literally 10 years? And now you're like, maybe we should think about regulations. You haven't done it in 10 years. You don't know what you want. There literally aren't how many states who already have a set of regulations. You can't just edit those. Yeah, 18 months to 2 years. Why? That's how much time it takes for the big boys to set up so they can come in and buy everything and own everything and be set up to completely take advantage of the system. I'm not joking when I say that. It's not conspiracy theory. If you think I'm making it up, do your own homework. It takes these guys that much time to be prepared to go through jump through all the hoops, figure out how they can make the licensing as tough as possible, how they can have control, how they can purchase up all the good farms and land prior to the law taking effect so that the heavy hitters can take over and dominate this industry in my state. That's why it will take so long. That's the reason. So You might say, well, Larry, how do you know that? I'll give you a couple things. Number one, there's going to be a 5-member cannabis control board. What could go wrong? Yes, because you know what we need? A cannabis control board. Why? Zero reason except control. It's in the name. 3 of those people out of 5, who do you think is going to appoint 3 of those people? Could it be the governor? Yeah, it will be the governor. No doubt this is the governor. And that's my problem. Immediately it'll be the governor. The governor will be the one who does it. Horrible problem. So he'll put his cronies on. Why would you say that, Larry? Why do you think the governor will put his cronies? What evidence do you have of this? Because during the last campaign, 2018, which many of you know I was part of, he raised over $400,000 from people who were on boards and commissions that he's created. Again, do your own homework. That's not secret. That's a fact. He raised over $400,000 from. So he puts his donors on the board. That's how he pays them back. Yeah. Let's do it again. Then 1 gets appointed from the Senate and 1 from the Assembly. Why that? So they can put their cronies. So Democrats, Republicans can now give their cronies their rewards. This is literally grifting. So that's the first part. But I'm still not done. There's also going to be, I'm not joking here, social consumption sites. It's in it. You can just look at it yourself. Social consumption sites. What could go wrong? We're making sure that there's total and utter control. So right now, as we're speaking now, people are smoking weed all over the place. You know it. You can go outside and see people smoking weed. So now we're going to make it legal so that smoking it just wherever you want to smoke it, now you go to jail. What are we talking about? Terrible, terrible ideas. Now, here's the one that isn't that bad. I mean, it's bad, but isn't that bad. The tax, not as bad as I thought. I thought it was going to be like 30%, 40%, something crazy like that. It's actually not. It's funny. I think businesses have actually learned that there is such thing as too high a tax. I know, it's crazy. But yeah, they're listen to me, they're only doing 9% tax plus 4% locally, 9% state tax plus 4% locally. If you want to deal with this locally, they're doing that. Not as bad as I thought. Still terrible. Still will encourage a black market. That's a guarantee, because not just that, there's also the store pays a separate tax based upon how much THC is in your product. So you want the good stuff, you pay higher taxes. I got you, higher price. But now take on the THC tax the store pays. So that makes the price higher. Plus the 4%, the 9% that you pay directly to the state, plus the 4% local. Now we're talking 15% tax or more. That's Colorado levels. You know what Colorado still has? A black market. You know what California still has? A black market. So they're going to set this up to ensure we still have a black market. That's the answer? Keep black markets? Yeah, because no matter what, you got to make sure people go to jail. Oh, but I'm still not done. If you are a household and you want to just grow the plant, in my world, regular like onions, grow onions in your backyard. Well, they're going to be nice. You can. If you have a medical, doctor tell you that you get prescribed, and then you may grow up to 12 plants, depending on what the board tells you in your local area. And your local area can tell you no. So maybe you can't. But if you can, they'll tell you how many. And they're going to come by and check. So they get to go check. And if you're, grow 13, fine, or go for jail. So yeah, this is another money grab, another way of control. It's nowhere near what I mentioned, regular like onions. But I'm torn. I want us to go down there, right? I want us to go down that road. I want us to start to decriminalize cannabis. And I worry, as many people do, if we legalize, is this a problem? In other words, does it happen that once we legalize, is there no way to decriminalize? right? Is that what happens? I see that now with alcohol, basically. We still have insanely dumb rules with alcohol. Right? The government decides what's alcohol and what it is and all the types of things and control. We still have an ATF. Are we now going to have an ATFC for cannabis? Right? Is that what we're going to have? That's what I'm concerned about. Now, I think the only way New York can go is this route. I don't see another way of going. And I mentioned this forever. I've talked about this is the way that New York has to go. It'll be 18 to 24 months before the big heavy hitters can get involved. 18 to 24 months before all of a sudden the big boys take care of everything. That's what people are worried about. That's what I'm worried about. That's our issue. I think that's going to get us. Larry Sharp, I am here on A Free Solution. Back after the break.
Your business relies on computers and technology to operate. Slow, unreliable networks and servers can cause unplanned downtime and affect your bottom line. The experts at SimpleTech Innovations are here to help. Their preventative maintenance program ensures that your computers and network are kept up to date and monitored for any issues, keeping your business running smoothly. They also help clients achieve HIPAA, PCI, and New York State cybersecurity compliance to keep your network safe and secure. Whenever your business IT needs are, SimpleTech Innovations should be your first call. They've won the Best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Call them today for a free consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. SimpleTech.
Yeah, it should be fixed now. I forgot to mute this until we got toward the break. You're welcome, because otherwise this talkback system sends you two feeds.
You need a lawyer who knows how to beat the big insurance companies. Call me and I'll take them on so you can focus on your health and family.
Car crash, call Salino. Salino, call Salino. 888-2020.
Main Street, Rochester.
A message from the National Police Association. It used to be that any able-bodied person would offer to assist a police officer in danger. Now, passers-by are more likely to take a video. There's a better use for your phone when an officer's in trouble. Call 911. Tell the operator where you are and what you see. Then, start your video to provide evidence later. To learn more about how you can assist law enforcement, visit nationalpolice.org. That's nationalpolice.org.
Why do businesses choose to move their website from Wix and Squarespace to SimpleTech Innovations? Maybe it's their excellent customer service or attention to detail. Maybe it's their ability to give a truly customized solution. Or perhaps they just like the fact that SimpleTech is a local small business that builds great relationships with its clients. Whatever the reason may be, you can rest assured knowing that the local team at SimpleTech has your best interest in mind when building or updating your website. They're hands-on and love helping customers achieve their goals. But don't take my word for it. They've won the Best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. If your website doesn't match your dreams or isn't achieving your goals, give the professionals at SimpleTech Innovations a call today for a consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. SimpleTech Innovations.
A free solution.
Hey, it's Larry Sharp here on A Free Solution. So happy to have you with me today here on WYSL in Rochester, New York. WENY, ENI, Elmira Corning, The Patriot, and of course, WACK in Newark, New York. Thank you for giving me a chunk of your day. I appreciate it. I spoke before the break about, of course, us legalizing weed or legalizing cannabis or marijuana in New York State. And I got a bunch of comments from the internet, and I want to grab a couple of those. So Andrew says, a friend of mine who's a fellow Democrat is in strong favor of legalizing marijuana. I think most Democrats are for this. You are finding some conservatives still against it, Andrew. And most of them are talking about things like, social issues, public safety, driving under the influence, stuff like that. And that's one of the reasons why people are trying to come up with these social consumption sites and allowing individual counties to just go, nah, we don't want any consumption here. We don't want you selling it here. And while I like the idea of allowing counties to say no, I do like the concept of localization. I do. At the same time, I think now we're letting local people be tyrants. So it's a double-edged sword for me, right? It really is. At the same point, I know the worry, and it's a real concern. Will we have people driving high and crashing all over the place? Is that possible? I think it's possible. I think it's unlikely. I think you don't see a massive increase in DUIs in the states that have made it legal. And if it does become a problem, here's one thing I'm sure of. The market will find an answer, right? The market if you can sell every police, what's that, 500 police forces or law enforcement agencies in New York State, something like that. If you could sell 500 to 500 police forces, some kind of, I don't know, breathalyzer, blood test, hair tests, saliva test, whatever is the appropriate test for THC or whatever it might be, you'll find a way to sell that to 500 police forces. You just figure it out. So somebody will find an answer. If that is an issue, I'm unsure it will be. So yes. John says, did you see the 13? Yeah, so I'm saying 9% state plus 4% local on a weed they are proposing for something that you can grow in your backyard. Yes, that's why I said regulate like onions, not regulate like alcohol or whatever it is. I agree completely. They're ensuring that there will be a black market and that when people try to sell their local grow, they'll get in trouble and go to jail. So yeah, and of course, that doesn't include sales tax. Right? Depending upon where you are in a state, there's about an 8% sales tax. So now we're talking 21% tax. Yeah, that's going to create a black market, right? Some people aren't going to do it. Absolutely. So while I am happy it will start growing, I do like that. The problem is it's not going to help who I want it to help, right? If you remember the whole reason why I was so pro cannabis, it wasn't because it'll raise money and we can tax the hell out of it. That wasn't the issue. What I wanted to do is I wanted to actually make it to where we'll just increase commerce. If we increase commerce, we by default raise tax revenue because there's more commerce. And if I'm going to have government tax us, if I'm going to have that, I'd rather have it based upon commerce. At least people are making money before the government takes it from you, at least, right? So if I got to pick a way to tax, I'll take that one, right? So that's a better way of doing it. And then not just that, you get, you get taxed the more you consume. So by default, someone who has more money will by default pay more taxes because they'll have more commerce. So that by default makes it fairer if you're concerned about the poor people paying less, right? You have less money, you have less commerce, you pay less tax. So that's, I prefer to go that way. If I have to pick a tax, I'd rather go that route. So that's a big issue for me, John. So thank you for that. Sonia says, do you think, I hope I say it right, psilocybin? Am I saying it right? I hope I am. You mean mushrooms, right? You mean psychedelics, right? I've seen that word written 1,000 times. I don't remember it actually being said, so I may be pronouncing it incorrectly. But I think you mean psychedelics. I do think psychedelics are next in New York State. I do, and I think it'll be next year. That's my gut. And the reason is once people start doing the math on the money that they can make on cannabis, they'll then decide we can make money on this too. So it won't be, Sonia, because they actually care about the medicinal side of this, which is a big deal for many people, particularly those who live with PTSD. For those who don't know, one of the ways you deal with PTSD, specifically veterans, but any form, people get it from all types of trauma, is to be able to talk about or relive the experience, pulling your emotions out. I know it sounds crazy, but one of the things you do for veterans, you guys know I'm a Marine veteran. What I do for veterans is they'll actually put them through a virtual reality, kind of talking about everything that happened to them. When did the bomb go off? Where were the bad guys? Like they go through the actual battle, what happened with them, and they walk them through. Someone physically holds them sometimes. They got the goggles on. They physically hold them and walk them through it, right? as they walk through it, then they talk about it and the emotion goes away from it over time. It's not 5 minutes, obviously. It's over time. What many people will use psychedelics is the same thing. It's called, oh my God, was it guided something? Sonia, help me. It's like, anyway, it's guided tripping. I don't know if that's what it's called, but it's a guided tripping, right? Some therapists will do that and then guide you through things. Now, you don't need a therapist for that. If you want to, trip on mushrooms, enjoy. That is, your do what you want. I don't mind. But on top of it, it could actually help people with PTSD. It really can, because they separate, literally in their mind, they separate the event from their emotions. And therefore, when you make the bad trauma only an event that you can talk about, the PTSD is tremendously mitigated. I mean, like massively. It really does work very well for PTSD. But again, if you just want to get high and trip, go ahead. But what Sonia's talking about really is it's called guided something. It's basically guided tripping. Thank you for that. I do think that is gonna help, and it's gonna work completely. So thank you for bringing that piece up. Yes, she says microdosing. Yeah, mushrooms is amazing for PTSD. If anyone hasn't heard of it, Google it. Research is amazing. True. Yes, and this is for all types of PTSD. But what I know personally, Sonia, is I know the veteran side of that. But you're right. It could be any trauma that you've had in your life. It will help. Absolutely. Thank you for bringing this up. Sam says, it sounds like New York has created another crony system. Yes, Sam. That will end up unfairly arresting poor and urban people. Yes, Sam. Did Albany forget that New York has a lot of small, tiny family farms? Yes. Yes, yes, and yes. Sam, you are exactly correct. Right? And the way they'll say it's going to be okay is through licensing. Now, they have a way that they're going to supposedly fix this, Sam. See, they were thinking that someone like Sam might get upset and say, hey, you're mean guys, crony stuff. They got this covered. They're going to have some exceptions for like minorities, women, disabled veterans. They're going to have some exceptions for that. See, they thought of you. His Majesty King Andrew Cuomo II, oh, hail the king. He really is a generous God. He is going to have some exceptions for these people. Look at him. But the problem with that, of course, is not actually targeted. It's going to be quota system based, because it always is. There'll be a percentage or a number or something like that. And will you hit any of these? And similar to affirmative action, it won't hit the people it's supposed to hit, right? Affirmative action was supposed to help Black people. That's what it was supposed to help. It wound up helping women far more than helping Black people. Not that I'm unhappy with helping women. I'm glad it did. If you look at today's talent is heavily dominated by females in most fields that require credentialing or that require education. I mean, women just dominate these fields. It's just amazing how well they're doing, right? So I'm not unhappy about that fact. I'm unhappy the way it happened. Yes. And this quota system will be used to support whoever they want to support. So I love veterans, I'll give it to a bunch of veterans. Or I love women, I give it to a bunch of women. So it won't actually help people who need to be helped. So, but they put an exception so they can say that because they knew Sam would say something. Absolutely. So they do have those pieces to it. But I want to go one place else. Well, other place, I'm sorry. And that is what they're going to use the tax for, right? The first part is, of course, to cover, this is what they say, cover the administration of it. Why is the administration? I don't know. Why? Because what I always tell you, government is always two things: a monopoly and a jobs program. Always. They have to make a jobs program. So now this becomes a jobs program. There's going to be the Cannabis Control Board has to have staff. So they're going to make a bunch of government jobs. And again, if you have a government job, good for you. I'm glad you're paying your bills. Please keep paying your bills. But is this a required job? I'd rather you be in the actual industry. Instead of doing admin for the government, do admin for a farm that's growing this and market this so they can make money. I want you to have a job. I'd rather be in a local farm than another government job. Yes, yet again, government proves it's the same. Am I wrong? Call me, 585-346-3000. Larry Sharp, a free solution. Back after break.
Don't support violence.
WYSL.
AM 1040 Avon Rochester, FM 92.1 Rochester, and FM 95.5 Spencerport.
Here's the latest forecast from the News 10 NBC Weather Center for tonight. We'll be looking at some showers and thunderstorms developing. Temperatures will stay in the 50s on Friday, 60s in the morning, dropping into the 40s in the afternoon. Wind will become strong, potentially some damaging gusts in the afternoon, some showers and thunderstorms possible Friday. Saturday will turn sunny and cooler with temperatures near 50. I'm Rich Cadelia, WYSL.
The big one. Hot, fresh news and talk. The big one. WYSL. News Power 1040.
Here are some warm ideas from Springwater Amish Workshop. Cozy up in an American-made, Amish-built solid wood rocking chair. Are the kids a little restless? Keep them active and busy with a solid oak rocking horse, oak child's table and chair set, or rocking chair. Your laundry will dry in no time on a rugged maple clothes drying rack. Local honey topping your oatmeal or pancakes starts any day right. Springwater Amish Workshop still has plenty of bird feeders in stock, colorful and attractive to decorate your landscape. Think spring. Our Amish builders are still experiencing delays in lumber shipments, so be sure to order the storage shed you need right now to ensure you receive it quickly. Be sure to visit to select colors, styles, and features, all at great prices. Springwater Amish Workshop, 7936 Route 15 in Springwater, open Monday and Wednesday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Visit springwateramishworkshop.com or visit them on Facebook.
Your business relies on computers and technology to operate. Slow, unreliable networks and servers can cause unplanned downtime and affect your bottom line. The experts at Simple Tech Innovations are here to help. Their preventative maintenance program ensures that your computers and network are kept up to date and monitored for any issues, keeping your business running smoothly. They also help clients achieve HIPAA, PCI, and New York State cybersecurity compliance to keep your network safe and secure. Whatever your business IT needs are, Simple Tech Innovations should be your first call. They've won the Best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Call them today for a free consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. Simple Tech Innovations.
At Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Anthony Drive off Route 96 in Victor. Spring lease savings are big, like the 21 Jeep Gladiator Sport 4x4 Crew Cab, $219 a month for 42 months. A 21 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo 4x4 is just $269 a month for 36 months. Requires existing Grand Cherokee lease and be returning lessee. The 2020 Jeep Renegade Latitude 4x4 is only $159 a month for 36 months. Must be Conquest or returning lessee. The 21 Ram 1500 Classic Warlock Quad Cab 4x4 pickup is just $159 a month for 36 months. Must be Conquest or returning lessee. Use 2 Ram coupons while supply lasts. Lease through Ally. Jeep, America's iconic four-wheel drive brand. $2,500 cash or trade and other conditions apply. Get full details from the dealer. Equipment and MSRP vary by model. We're here to fully serve Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram customers in Victor, Canandaigua, Macedon, Fairport, and throughout the Metro and Finger Lakes. Shop with confidence and safety and full CDC compliance. Victor, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, 6560 Anthony Drive in Victor.
What does it mean to bank locally with Tompkins? It means keeping your money in your community with a team of neighbors to guide you through big decisions and milestones, plus all the convenience of our mobile app, where you can manage your account, deposit checks remotely, send money to family and friends, even turn your card off if it gets misplaced, then back on when you find it. Ready to bank locally with the team at Tompkins? Visit Tompkins Bank of Castile online or at a branch to get started. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Inside the Taylor Laboratories.
Hey, Tony, what you doing?
A little experiment, Zach. Look what I have under the microscope.
Ugh, what's that?
A sample of indoor air.
How can it be that dirty? Don't AC and furnace filters help?
Only with dust, Zach. But when Taylor installs a whole house APCO air purifier to detox the air, odors, chemicals, mold, bacteria, and viruses are removed.
For clean indoor air.
Yep. Ain't science awesome?
Taylor, 500 out.
Looking for a beautiful Brockport home that's close to everything? The Meadows Apartments in Brockport are just minutes from the Central School and SUNY Brockport campuses. Convenient to Lake Ontario, shopping, parks, and restaurants. Choose from 1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartments in our village community with many amenities. The Meadows Apartment community in Brockport features a swimming pool and convenient in-building laundry centers. Come take an apartment tour and meet our friendly and knowledgeable on-site staff on Ellis Drive in Brockport, or visit themeadowsny.com to learn more.
A free solution.
Hey, everybody, it is Larry Sharp here on A Free Solution. And look, there's something I want you to think about here. This cool show is on every day. So why aren't you following us on Facebook and YouTube? A Free Solution. It's cool. We got super cool people like Kevin Wilson on. We even got Andrew Hollister. We got him to come back a couple times. Come on, that guy's like super cool. You got to hang out with him too. So let's make sure you're following us on all the interweb things, Facebook and YouTube, so we can keep this rocking and rolling. Here on WYSL, Rochester, New York, WENY, Elmira and Corning, the Patriot, WACK, Newark, New York, 585-346-3000. Before the break, I was talking about how we're going to pay for this. And the taxes will, of course, create a jobs program. Surprise, right? New York State created the jobs program. That's what we do. But there's more. This 5-member cannabis control board isn't just going to be for hammering people and taking their money for fines and fees. Oh, it will do that. But it won't just do that. It will also create all these unnecessary rules and regulations and laws that will be so detailed that the little guy is constantly hammering, eventually just says, I don't want to do it. And then the big equity partners take everything. It will do that too. But there's another thing it will do. It'll make sure that it invests in these equity partners and makes tons of money so they can grift. And that's how they get rewarded for being Cuomo's friend. So do that too. On top of that, they're going to help decide where that money goes. Because after they paid themselves, after they've taken our money and paid themselves, now they got to give some of it back. I mean, they got to do something, right? We got a massive budget problem. So the rules right now supposedly are 40% is going to be on community stuff, community improvement, right? Those types of things, reinvestment into the community, right? What does that mean? That means New York State is going to have even more money for our Hunger Games. Yes, they're going to take our money and then make us compete to get it back. And they'll decide where it goes. Because, our economic development corporations, what could go wrong? Everything. Only everything. Every single plan that His Majesty King Andrew Cuomo, all hail the king, has come up with, every one of them has failed. There's not one success. Everyone's failed. So what should we do? Give him more money, of course. So 40% goes for him that he can now hand out to people to reward his cronies, to punish Republicans who don't bend the knee, which he always does. So that keeps going. All right, good for him on that one. He's got that down. But there's another part. Another 40% goes to schools. See the children. Sam, why you being a jerk? He's going to help the children. Clearly he is. Now I'm trying to think, was there ever another time when something was being used that would go for schooling in the children? Oh, right, our lottery system. That was a lie. This one's a lie too. Sam, you're actually right. He's not going to help the children. Maybe the first year or two he might. It's possible because we're going to be looking for the first year or so. Where's that money going? And he'll say, see, look, we built a football field with your weed money. See? Don't worry about the other millions of dollars that went to my cronies. Look at this football field. It'll be great. And within 5 years, that will go into the general fund because of an emergency. So that will go away, guaranteed. But it'll start by giving something. The other 20% is going to go into drug treatment because, cannabis is a gateway drug to nothing. They just made that up. So they'll do drug treatment. Why? That's so it can give the other state board. We have a board now for addiction. That's our state board. They decide what's legal and what's the right way to treat addiction. And by the way, Sonia, mushroom psychedelics is not part of it because they decide that. They decide. So that board decides. So they're going to get a cut. So their board gets a cut. And they decide where that goes. Look at that. So this is like cronies get to decide where all the money goes. So not only is the system itself set up for the cronies to make the money, right, in the commerce world, then when the government money comes from all the taxation, a chunk of that is a jobs program that keeps his people directly just getting checks. And then the rest of the chunk is divvied out to people and by people that are also his cronies. What could go wrong? This is literally our system. Or you could have regulated like onions. That was another option. It really was. I talked about it, been talking about it for about 4 years now. And we went with this one instead. All right, look, I'm the weird one. I guess I had the actual free solution, hence the name of the show. You don't have to have a cannabis control board if you regulate like onions. Is there an onion control board? I don't think there is. I could probably check that out. If someone happens to know, let me know if there is one. But if there already is an onion control board, I wouldn't be surprised if New York State has one. I mean, that's the kind of stuff we do. So if someone were to show me there's an onion control board, I would not be shocked. I'd be like, yeah, makes total sense. But if we have an onion control board already, then we could just put it under them. No extra cash. No jobs program. The onion control people already are getting paid. So that's done. No more administration for them. And if we just put the money all into a general fund with very little tax. And by the way, for those of you who don't remember this, one of the reasons why I bring up the tax issue is when I was talking about regulate like onions, there were a lot of people who gave me pushback and said, Larry, I get it, but you got to add some tax to it. We need to make revenue and nobody's going to care, blah, blah, blah. Well, that wasn't part of my actual plan at all. No extra taxation, because I want to just make sure that we had more commerce, and that's how you raise revenue without having to raise taxes. But I was okay. And I said that when I took my team, I would have bent on up to 3%. That's as far as it would have gone, period. 3%, that's it. If you want to go local, great. Then 2% state, 1% local. No more than 3%. And the reason why is my team and I, when we would meet and talk about this, we came up with what we believe is true. And it's a bit of a white paper on one of my websites on it, which talks about the idea that once you get past 3%, that's when you're starting to move the black market. And Tom, you talked about the black market. You sent that note, I saw it, so thank you for that. Once you go to 4, 5, 6, 8%, you're now beginning to encourage the black market. As a general rule, if you're 3% or less, there's no real black market. What does that mean? If I can buy a product for $1 outside and $1.03 in a store, the vast majority of people just go buy it in the store. It's safer, it's better. We'll go to the store. I'll pay the extra 3 cents. I'm fine. 2 cents, 1 cent, I'll pay it. Once it's 4 cents or more, people start thinking, do I want to go into the store? Or do I want to get it from my friend? 5, 6, 8%, they're getting it from their friend. Ours is going to wind up equaling about 21%. There's a black market. It isn't as bad. It shouldn't be as bad as Colorado and California because we're lower than them overall. We're lower than. I think Colorado's 15 or something like that, or 20 or the reverse that in California. We're going to be officially 13 plus our own state tax would be 21 or so. So that's what I mean by the black market piece and the taxation piece. It does encourage a black market, which means more people getting arrested. And also you now can use the law to destroy small farmers, right? The idea of regulatory capture, because this 5-person panel, this isn't the last regulation they're going to make. They're going to make a whole lot more. And when the equity partners start picking up all the land and buying up all the farms, which that's going to happen. That's why they're so happy. When they start buying up all the farms, they'll now, for safety, go, well, you have to have all these things in place. And you have to have all these things in place. The small farmers are going to just collapse. Excuse me. They won't be able to handle it. The small farmer will collapse. And eventually, it'll just be big business. That is my biggest issue. I've always been concerned about that. And that's why I don't want state boards deciding where the money goes. I don't want massive taxation. Because once you have massive taxation, you have massive money to dispense. And when I have money to dispense to you, I have power. That's how it works. If I can dispense money, I have power. That's how it works, no matter who I am or what party I'm with. That's how it works. So how about we allow them to dispense the least amount of money to give them the least amount of power. The less power, the less corrupt. This is simple math. This isn't even Common Core math. This is regular math. Absolutely. It's that simple. It drives me crazy. So, yes. Dan asks, I'm curious, could he be passing as a safe face in the eye of the average New Yorker? I think yes, Dan. That's one of the reasons. So he's talking about it. I'm not sure we're going to pass it, Dan. We're going to talk about it because let's talk about that and not the people I killed last year. Let's forget about those people. Let's talk about weed. That's a way better conversation. So we're going to talk about it. And he might. It's possible. And of course, the biggest issue is we're broke. So we need the taxation so that we can pay our budget, right? Uncle Joe's only going to write a couple of checks. He's not going to keep writing checks. At one point, Uncle Joe stops writing checks. No, this all goes into effect actually in 2022. That's when the checks are no longer run, will no longer come anymore, and he's running for governor again. That's when this goes into play. See what I did, New York? I made you get free weed. Look at that. It won't be free, but he'll call it free. That's the issue, Dan. I think you're right. It is saving face, but maybe different reasons, if that makes any sense. So, yes, I think we do want to make that happen. Someone said, Larry, why didn't you take Governor Cuomo's job? I tried. I think I blew the interview. Maybe next time. We'll see. Larry Sharp here on A Free Solution. Back after the break.
Why do businesses choose to move their website from Wix and Squarespace to SimpleTech Innovations? Maybe it's their excellent customer service or attention to detail. Maybe it's their ability to give a truly customized solution. Or perhaps they just like the fact that SimpleTech is a local small business that builds great relationships with its clients. Whatever the reason may be, you can rest assured knowing that the local team at SimpleTech has your best interest in mind when building or updating your website. They're hands-on and love helping customers achieve their goals. But don't take my word for it. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. If your website doesn't match your dreams or isn't achieving your goals, give the professionals at SimpleTech Innovations a call today for a consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. SimpleTech Innovations.
Hi, my name is Ryan Bourne.
And I'm Danica Bourne.
And we're the owners of South Coast Tax. We would like to thank our Lord for protecting us from evil. Psalm 91 states, He is my refuge and my fortress, for He will rescue us from every trap and protect us from deadly disease.
South Coast Tax are Christian-based tax accountants and attorneys who specialize in releasing bank levies, wage garnishments, and filing complex tax returns. We are the leaders in acceptance of offers and compromise with awesome results.
We are also a small firm who will treat you like family and not just a number.
Call us today at 1-800-TAX-1176 for a free consultation, and we'll take the time to explain all of the programs that you qualify for in order to allow you a fresh start.
In John 8:36, so if the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed. And one way we can achieve that is by being debt-free. So let us help you today. Call us at 1-800-TAX-1176, and together we can help achieve this goal by putting the IRS tax debt behind you for good. Again, that number is 1-800-TAX-1176.
Your business relies on computers and technology to operate. Slow, unreliable networks and servers can cause unplanned downtime and affect your bottom line. The experts at SimpleTech Innovations are here to help. Their preventative maintenance program ensures that your computers and network are kept up to date and monitored for any issues, keeping your business running smoothly. They also help clients achieve HIPAA, PCI, and New York State cybersecurity compliance to keep your network safe and secure. Whatever your business IT needs are, SimpleTech Innovation should be your first call. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Call them today for a free consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. SimpleTech Innovations.
A free solution.
Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me for a little bit of your day. I hope I'm giving you some cool information and something interesting, entertaining for you to listen to. some for you to watch while you're out there. You're doing the things that you do every day. I appreciate you giving me a few minutes of your day. Larry Sharp here, WYSL, Rochester, New York, WENY, Elmira and Corning, The Patriot, WACK in Newark, New York. I've been talking the whole day about cannabis, about weed. Absolutely. Talking about how we can make money off it, how New York State is going to make it all for the cronyism, how it's going to become a jobs program. And to be forward, I've never been against people working for the government. Whatever job you have that pays your bills, that's a good job. So I'm happy you have it. All I'm saying is I'd like us to, instead of creating so many government jobs, to encourage more private sector jobs so you can still pay your bills and do the stuff you like, just doing it more for the private sector. That's what I would like to do. So I like us all to have jobs, just very few of them be government and most of them to be in the private sector. That's what I'm trying to say. So please, if someone's upset, I'm okay with government jobs. My father worked for the government for years. He was a cop and a corrections officer. So no worry. It paid our bills. All good. So yes. Kareem says, also, is vaping still regulated, ban, etc.? I remember you talked about that with Dave Rubin. Sorry if it's slightly off topic. It isn't off topic, Kareem, at all. I'm happy you brought it up. You know, one of the things in this bill is cannabis use will only be 21 years or older. Yeah. You got to be 21 to smoke weed. Is that when people start smoking weed? I think most people who smoke weed probably start around 17. Am I about right with that? I don't know. I'm a square, so I'm probably wrong on that one. But my gut tells me like 16, 17 is my gut. What we didn't realize, and this is an interesting topic you brought up, when we moved the drinking age from 18 to 21, the goal in that was to pull beer out of high schools. That was the goal. And it actually worked. There was absolutely less beer consumption in high school after the drinking age got moved from 19 and then to 21. That's true. It actually worked. I know I'm old enough to remember when you could drink at 18, right? So that actually did work. But the backlash was kids started smoking weed. You couldn't get beer because it was, legal, but 21. Weed was just illegal. So you could get it anywhere. I know it sounds crazy. It's legal. It's hard to get. It's illegal. It's easy to get. So the kids started smoking weed instead. Kids want to get high with their friends, whether that's through, weed or alcohol or running and athletics or church or spirituality. It doesn't matter. We want to get high with our friends. That's what people want to do, particularly kids, particularly teenagers. So yeah, it didn't work. And yes, they're trying to destroy vaping, which makes no sense whatsoever, but they're doing that too. They have to regulate it to where there's nothing left of it. It's for the children, Kareem, but it doesn't work. If it's illegal, the kids get it faster. That's how that works. So yes. Sam says, if we regulate like onions, nearly 100% of the money would go back to communities. Yeah. Sam, you're killing it. Yes. Instead of 40% from the government. I wonder what percentage of receipts/taxes will go towards administration. Yeah, there would be some administration, right? I mean, if you increase commerce, the odds are there'd be some increase in administration. But it would literally be like, I don't know, 2 people in Albany. Like that's the whole thing. There wouldn't be that much because based upon, the systems you already have, you're not increasing much at all. Most of the admin would actually be at the local level, meaning it would be at the actual communities, at the dispensaries, at the truck companies that deliver the weed, at the farm. That's where you'd create more of the jobs. So there would still be jobs. You always will need administrators, managers, people to control stuff, people to do stuff. You'll always need that. And many people are really good at that. I'm not one of those people, but some people are really good at that. And if you're good at that, there's a place for you. Of course there is. A place for everybody. I just rather have that place be, as you're talking about, Sam, in that local community. I'd rather it be there than in Albany. So yes, I agree. Excuse me. Paula says, if onions are certified organic, there's government control. There we go. So we already have a place for government to do its job. No extra taxes, no extra anything. Let's just keep going. Absolutely. Yes. So, all right. Nate says, imagine that. Nothing in New York is given to free. The politicians need to find a way to get their greedy hands on it. I say this all the time in a joking way, but also in a real way. the government in many ways is just like the mafia. I really mean that. It's just like the mafia. Imagine a mob boss in your neighborhood and you go out and start a business. What's he going to do? He's going to walk over to you and go, hey, Nate, you got this business going in my territory. I can't get my beak wet. Something can't fall here. Be a shame if something would have happened in this nice business here if I don't get my cut. Literally, that's government. And that's what's happening. Oh, I get my cut? It's fine. Go ahead. I'm in control? It's fine. Go ahead. So, yes, I think that you're totally correct. Yes. So, Nate then says, the thing is, New York is so vastly different from one county to the other. Statewide mandates rarely work. Agreed. Because what works in New York City doesn't work in Allegheny County. Absolutely. Allegheny County is a very rural county. I mean, what are there, 50 to 100,000 people in Allegheny County, give or take? I'm guessing in that area. Probably in that area. Now, Chautauqua County, what is about 170 maybe. So I know most of the counties in the area are between about 50 and 100,000 people, give or take. Sad that I know these things, but I still cross the state, so I still know. But say 100,000. I don't think it's 100,000, but say it's 100,000. 100,000 people in that county, that's 3 blocks of Manhattan. I'm not even joking. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but I am joking. But it's probably 3 square miles of Manhattan. That's probably true, right? I don't know, but the density here is so much. There are 2.3 million people in Brooklyn, 2.1 million in Queens, and those just 2 counties. You're correct. And by the way, even Allegheny County is big compared to Hamilton County. Hamilton County has 4,500 people in it. That's it. 4,500 people. Wow. Nate says 70,000. I was about right. Yes. So you guys probably are laughing that I know this, but there's 62 counties in New York State. I've been to all of them multiple times. So I know a lot of data about New York State counties. The smallest county physically is Manhattan. In population, it's Hamilton. In size, the largest county in physical size is St. Lawrence County, and in population is Brooklyn. So I know it's nuts, but I happen to know these things. So yes, they are very diverse. Kyle says, also to separate New York City and upstate, this happens. Kyle, I disagree. I know people say this, and I do think we can get along. If more people would think the way I do, which is I love New York State's diversity. This state, and I say it again, I'll keep saying it. This state is an amazing state. Whatever you like in your life, New York State has it. Do you like woods? Do you like mountains? Do you like cities? Do you like trees? Do you like lakes? Do you like beaches? Do you like falls? Do you want to ski? Do you want to watch Broadway? Do you want to, learn? Do you want to watch an opera? Do you want to mountain climb? It's here. It doesn't matter what your thing is. New York has it. It's a diverse, beautiful state. And people talk all the time about diversity. I'm in. I love diversity. But if we understand that diversity
1 minute
really is valuable and we actually do want it, we do like it, then we have to act accordingly. And we have to respect the diversity in each county. I want Allegheny County to be Allegheny. I want Brooklyn to be Brooklyn. I want us to respect each other. If we do that, you won't care what happens in New York City. If we stop sending our money to Albany and using Hunger Games, but you keep your money locally, you won't care what happens in New York City because you'll be happy in your area, Kyle. Nate will be happy in his, and I'll be happy in mine. Life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. That's an actual free solution. I preach it all the time, and I'll never stop preaching it. That's what we should be about. That's what matters in America. Life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. Larry Sharp, our free solution. Guys, have a great weekend. I'll see you in a couple days.